The Trump campaign and right-wing media have been falling all over themselves over the last 24 hours to promote a story by the New York Post, a supposed game-changing, earth-shattering bombshell about Joe Biden, and the entire story may be fake. At minimum, it is not what we would call reputable reporting. And I've gone back and forth over the last 12 hours about whether to talk about this today. I've received enough emails about this that I do want to discuss it, at least briefly. So I want to give you the simplest explanation of the story as it is alleged first. Then we'll talk about what we actually know to be true and whether this story matters. So the story is as follows. Yesterday, the New York Post publishes an article based on supposed emails reportedly obtained from a laptop that Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, had allegedly left at a computer repair shop in Delaware in April of 2019. So already we have a lot of if, ands, and buts, speculation, and unproven assertions. The gist of the supposed emails is that Hunter Biden arranged for a top Ukrainian energy executive to meet with Joe Biden, who at the time was the vice president. Supposedly, Burisma advisor Vadim Pizarski wrote an email to Hunter Biden. And in the email, Pizarski says to Hunter Biden, "Thank you for inviting me to D.C. and giving an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together." So instantly, the Trump campaign and the right have been going crazy, saying, see, Joe Biden lied. This was a conflict of interest. Hunter Biden was influence peddling while he was on the board of this Ukrainian energy company, Burisma. Biden lied. It's all true. Now, if the story is true exactly as described, it would be a problem for Joe Biden, at least to some degree, although Trump and his family have done what Joe Biden is accused of doing 100 times over. The Trumpists don't care. There have been no repercussions. But yes, if the story is true, it would lead to having to answer some questions. Okay. But the thing is that now more serious journalistic entities have looked at the story. The story may not even be true. The first question is this laptop. A laptop was supposedly left 18 months ago in a repair shop, and the repair shop owner copied the hard drive and has now turned it over to Rudy Giuliani and others. It's already very weird. The emails that are in the story aren't actual screenshots of emails. There's no header info. There's no metadata. It's a screenshot of a PDF. It's a screenshot PDF. It could be from a real email. It could be totally fake. We don't know. Next, even if the email that is purported to be an email to Hunter Biden is a real email to Hunter Biden, it's not clear if the email refers to something that happened or to something that the Russian executive is hoping happens. He says in the email, "Thank you for inviting me to D.C." That could be thank you for something that took place or something that maybe could take place. "Thank you for giving me an opportunity to meet your father." Unclear if that actually took place, and we'll get to that. Next, even if it is what it purports to be, there's no indication that Hunter Biden ever replied to the email, and the story doesn't even allege that Hunter Biden replied, and officials who work for Joe Biden say no such meeting actually took place. Now, in the meantime, the Biden campaign has said it's conceivable that at some event, Biden might have shaken hands with this Ukrainian executive, along with dozens or hundreds of other people. This is a defense Donald Trump often uses. Donald Trump will often claim he doesn't know somebody. Pictures come out of Trump hugging the guy. And then Trump says, listen, I take millions. They've actually said, I've taken millions of pictures like that. And the Trumpists are satisfied with that explanation. So they conceivably should be satisfied with that same explanation here, if indeed it is the explanation. And then the last reason to be skeptical of all of this is that Rudy Giuliani appears to be behind all of it. Donald Trump's, I guess, still lawyer and henchman. And I would be at this point looking at anything that comes from Rudy Giuliani with skeptical eyes. In the end, I think this changes nothing about the election. There are rumors that much more on Hunter Biden is coming. If that happens, then we will have to examine it and reevaluate whether it does anything in terms of the election. This story from the New York Post, I think, does nothing in terms of the election. And if this is the October surprise, it really is a very weak October surprise. If you disagree with me, let me know. I'm on Twitter at @dpakman. Every single day, the Trump administration shows us what happens when anti-science Christian conservatives have power in government on everything from climate change to fighting this pandemic. We cannot afford another 4 years of Donald Trump. One of our sponsors today is the Free Thought Equality Super PAC. Both they and I want to remind you that voting against Donald Trump in the presidential election is one of the most important things you can do right now. If you want religious conservatives to have less power and you want science to have more influence in government, make sure you're registered to vote. Make the commitment to vote on or before November 3rd. I also encourage you to check out the Center for Free Thought Equality, which is an advocacy group that promotes evidence-based public policy and supports secular candidates running for office. Becoming a member is completely free, gives you access to tons of excellent resources related to secularism in politics. Just visit cfequality.org. You can find the link right underneath this video. This message was paid for by the Free Thought Equality Super PAC and is not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.